Well, welcome to Easy English Chats, the podcast where two friends just talk. I'm Paul.
And I'm Eva, and if you're new here, welcome. This podcast is for anyone who is learning English and wants to practice by listening to real, natural conversation. We don't use complicated words, we don't rush, and we always have a good time.
We really do. And today's topic, Eva, I have been looking forward to this one.
Me too. So today we are talking about dream homes versus reality.
Yes. So the big question for today is, if money were no object, where would you live? What would your perfect home look like?
And we'll also talk about where we actually live right now because, real life is a little different from the dream.
Just a little. Okay, so before we get into it, a quick note for our listeners. Today's episode is great for practicing conditionals in English. That's things like, if I had $1 million, I would, or if I could live anywhere, I would choose. We'll be using those kinds of sentences a lot today, so listen out for them.
Yes, great tip, Paul. Okay, shall we start?
Let's do it.
All right, so Paul, I'll ask you first. Where do you actually live right now? Just describe it for our listeners.
Okay, so right now I live in a flat, an apartment. It's in a city, not a huge city, but a busy one. It's on the 3rd floor, so I have a little balcony, which I love, but it's not very big. I have 1 bedroom, a small kitchen, a living room, and that's kind of it.
That sounds pretty typical, actually. A lot of people live like that.
Very typical, yeah. It's comfortable, don't get me wrong. I like my flat. But when I think about my dream home, it's very, very different.
Okay, tell me, if money were no object, where would you live?
Okay, so if I could live anywhere, and I mean anywhere, I think I would live in a big old house in the countryside, like somewhere in the south of France or maybe Tuscany in Italy.
Oh, wow, okay.
I know. A big stone house, very old, with a huge garden, maybe some olive trees, and a terrace where you could sit outside and have your morning coffee and just look at the hills.
That sounds absolutely beautiful.
Doesn't it? And inside, big wooden beams on the ceiling, a big fireplace in the living room, a massive kitchen where you could actually cook properly.
You like cooking?
I like the idea of cooking. If I had a beautiful kitchen, maybe I would actually cook more.
That's very honest. Okay, so countryside, old stone house, France or Italy. Would you live there alone?
No, I'd want friends and family nearby. Maybe even a guest cottage in the garden so people could come and stay.
A guest cottage. Look at you. Very generous.
I try. What about you, Eva? Where do you live now?
So I also live in a city, a bigger city than you, actually. I rent a flat with my partner. It's a nice flat. We've made it really cozy, but it's expensive. That's the thing about living in a big city. You pay a lot for not very much space.
That's so true. It's one of the big frustrations, isn't it? You look at what you're paying and then you look at the size of the flat and you think, really?
Exactly. Like, if I paid this much money in the countryside, I would have a mansion. But in the city, I have 2 bedrooms and a kitchen that I can barely turn around in.
The city tax, I call it.
The city tax, yes, that's a good name for it. But I do love the city. I love that everything is close. Restaurants, cafes, museums, public transit.
That's the trade-off, right? Convenience versus space.
Totally. And I think that's actually why my dream home is a little different from yours.
Oh, interesting. Tell me.
Okay, so if I could live anywhere, I think I would still want to be near a city, but not in the city center. I would want a house, a proper house, not a flat, just outside a city. Close enough to go in when I want to, but far enough to have a garden, have quiet, have space.
That's very practical of you.
I'm a practical person. But the house itself, if money were no object, I would want it to be very modern. Like lots of big windows, very open plan inside, really clean and minimal.
Ooh, so the opposite of my old stone cottage.
Completely opposite. I want floor-to-ceiling windows so that there's natural light everywhere. And I would want a really big kitchen, too. An open kitchen connected to the living room so it all feels like one big space.
I love that. And the garden?
Yes, but a nice one, not too wild. Maybe a big lawn, some flowers, and this is my favorite part, an outdoor area with a covered roof so you can sit outside even when it's raining.
Oh, that's lovely. Because if you live in a country like England, for example, you need that.
Exactly. You can't just have an outdoor area and hope for sun. You need to plan for rain.
So practical.
Always. And you know what else I would want? A home office, a proper one, with a door that closes.
Oh, that's such a modern dream home requirement, isn't it? The home office?
It really is, especially since so many people work from home now. If I had a proper office at home, I think I would be so much more productive.
I agree. Right now I work from the kitchen table, and it's not ideal.
No, the kitchen table office is a struggle.
It really is. Okay, so we both want more space, a garden, a proper kitchen. We agree on those things, but we disagree on the style. You want modern, I want old and rustic.
Do you think that says something about our personalities?
Probably. I think I'm quite romantic about the past, you know? Like I love the idea of history, of old things with stories behind them. So a big old farmhouse feels very me.
And I think I'm more focused on function. Like, is it practical? Is it comfortable? Does it work well? I want the house to make my life easier.
That makes total sense. And actually, both are completely valid. There's no wrong answer when it comes to dream homes.
No, that's the beauty of it. Your dream is your dream.
Exactly. Okay, I want to ask you something else. A lot of people have very unusual dream homes. Like some people dream of living in a castle, or a tiny house in the woods, or on a boat.
Oh, yes. So what, shall we talk about some of those more unusual ones?
Let's. Okay, what about a castle? Would you ever want to live in a castle?
Okay, so the romance of it, yes, a castle sounds amazing. But if I actually lived in one, I think it would be freezing cold and incredibly difficult to heat. And the maintenance. If I had a castle, I would spend all my time trying to fix it.
Yeah, old buildings are expensive to look after. But maybe if money were no object, you wouldn't worry about that.
True. If I had unlimited money, I would hire a whole team to look after it. And then maybe, yes, I could enjoy the castle.
I would absolutely live in a castle. I think that would be incredible. Stone walls, a great hall, a tower with a view.
You'd be like a king.
Exactly what I was thinking. What about a tiny house? Some people love the idea of living very simply, like a tiny house in the forest.
I find that really interesting, actually. I think there's something very appealing about simplifying your life, like having less stuff, less space to clean, being close to nature.
There's a whole movement around it, isn't there? The tiny house movement?
Yes, and people who do it say they feel so much more free because they're not spending all their money on a big house, they're not filling it with things they don't need.
But could you actually live in a tiny house?
Honestly, no, I don't think I could. I need my space. I would feel claustrophobic, but I love that other people love it.
I think I could do it for a holiday, like a week in a tiny cabin in the woods. Perfect. As my permanent home, probably not.
Exactly, yes. There's a difference between visiting a cozy cabin and actually living in one.
What about living on the water, like a houseboat?
Oh, a houseboat. So I've actually been on one. A friend of mine had a houseboat for a while.
Really? What was it like?
It was so cool to visit. Very cozy, very quirky. Everything was really cleverly designed to save space. But she said the reality was it moved when big boats went past, which made it hard to sleep. And in winter, it was very cold.
So again, sounds romantic. Reality is a bit more complicated.
That's kind of the theme of this episode, isn't it?
It really is. Dream homes are beautiful in our imagination. Reality always has plumbing problems.
Always. But I think that's okay. I think it's lovely to have a dream home in your mind. Even if you can't have it right now or ever, it's a nice thing to think about.
I completely agree. And who knows, maybe one day, if I save enough money, maybe I'll find my little farmhouse in the south of France.
I hope you do, Paul. I will come and visit.
And you'll stay in the guest cottage.
Obviously.
Okay, so before we go, a little language recap for our learners. Today, we used a lot of second conditional sentences. This is when we talk about imaginary or unlikely situations. For example, if I had $1 million, I would buy a farmhouse in France. If money were no object, I would live in a castle. If I could live anywhere, I would choose somewhere near a city.
Notice the structure. If I had, or were, or could, that's past tense, and then I would for the result. It's a very common and very useful structure in English, especially for talking about wishes and dreams.
Try it yourself. Think about your dream home and make some sentences using if I could or if I had. It's great practice.
And maybe write them down, or even record yourself saying them. That's a wonderful way to practice speaking.
Great idea. Okay, that's it for today's episode of Easy English Chats. Thank you so much for listening.
Genuinely, it means the world to us that you're here. Whether you've been listening since the beginning or this is your very first episode, we are so happy you found us.
If you enjoyed today's episode, please share it with a friend who is learning English. That's the best thing you can do to support the show.
And come back next time. We've got another fun topic lined up, and we cannot wait to chat with you again.
Until then, keep listening, keep practicing, and remember, English is easier than you think. Bye.
Bye, everyone.